And get your buzz on, wild ones. It's Bernadette, and I'm here for your Tuesday Pick a Card Tarot reading on this glorious Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. I got the day and the date right. Are you so proud of me? So, you guys know I used to do comedy, right? And so I was one of the few women that did impressions. So today I thought I'd do, when the card came up, I thought I'd do an impression for you. So who am I? Big googly eyes, get your buzz on, lots of spring and lots of flowers everywhere. Come on, you got it. You sweetie pies have got it. Sweet, get it? Yes, I know you know this. I am the Bee, which is the Wheel of Fortune card in the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. However, it is inverted today. And man, that's going to play right along in with the nutso message that has come through for you guys today. It's nuts. It's just nuts. And the reason that I say that is, the other day, I don't even remember what video it was. I said that I felt like you all were, you were hungry for meanings and symbolism that wasn't like in everybody's book and on everybody's website. Maybe it was more current, more expansive, more in keeping times with what animals are experiencing today, what they've experienced in the last, maybe 10 years or whatever. Wow, did you all resonate with that? I got a flood of messages on Facebook, a flood of emails. So thank you very much for the validation, because when you all send me what you like and what you don't like, what you're curious about, what you want more clarification on or whatever, it helps me learn more about the animals. Because if I don't know it right off the top of my head, I go rooting around for it and find it, or light on the knowledge and, pollinate the petals of knowledge as a bee would. And, I'm such, but I would, and I do. So it's really fascinating to me. Let me just cut to the chase. I'm just so excited to share this with you guys, and that is this. So you all know I'm in love with the website Mental Floss. I believe me, I know what's on there, but they do a really good job when it comes to things about animals and some other things. They're just really witty, and they find the most interesting stuff that nobody else has. So, I read this, I don't know, some months ago, and I thought, man, I can't wait till the bee shows up again, and here we are. Now it's inverted. So let's just talk for 2 seconds about what the Wheel of Fortune means in, traditional tarot card meanings, because, the deck that I read with is my ARC, Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. For those of you just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wild Pack. And if you haven't seen it yet, this deck is all about animals, but it fits within the Rider-Waite tarot system, right? So it's very traditional, and then it brings all the extra power and the medicine of the animals and infuses it with the already crazy, amazing archetypes that are in there. The readings are crazy magical. The accuracy that you guys are experiencing, I love those stories. Keep them coming. So when the Wheel of Fortune is like the, yay, I won the lotto card. And, that's why Bee wanted to be, the Wheel of Fortune, because it's about karma, it's about balance, it's about, it's in constant motion. Anything that's a circle or anything that's a wheel, karma in Sanskrit, it means action or deed, and that every action has a reaction or an effect. Okay, so when the Wheel of Fortune card comes inverted, when it's upright in tarot card meanings, the planet Jupiter, oh my gosh, y'all. So Jupiter is like Mars, and Mars is the ruling planet of today. It's about a very aggressive, not in a negative way, but just let's go, let's get it done, let's go, let's get it done. Like, listen, if any of us were actually on the show Wheel of Fortune, right, man, I'd be spinning the heck out of that wheel, because I'd be like, land on, right? And the sacral chakra is the ruling chakra of the day. And that's this fiery orange, and it's about your passion and your vitality. So there's a tremendous amount of energy behind this card, behind the bee, as it's, united our whole world to bring it back to life, because without bees, our entire ecosystem could collapse. And so people got with the program, and, bees are on a comeback. Yay. So when it's inverted, it's exactly the same, except for the immediate moving forward. It's asking you to just stop for a second and don't turn a mountain into a molehill, or don't turn a molehill into a mountain. What you're experiencing may feel really big and giant, like, oh my God, I got to do something about this right now, but you don't. And neither do you want to throw up your hands in despair and go, oh God, it's never going to work. I'm done. I'm over it. Well, when this card came up today, I immediately remembered, strange, I can't remember the day. I can't remember the day and the date to tell you guys, but I can remember kooky facts like this. But it's so relevant because when bees change jobs, they actually change their brain chemistry. And like us, we come into this world hardwired in our brains and our chemical makeup, that kind of thing. Let's not even talk about the DNA that we bring in from past lives, and not just our past lives, but then our parents, their past lives, and their so on and so forth. And we bring in ancient memories. I think we bring in karma of all kinds. So we're kind of like possibly this when we come in. But the one thing that we know for sure is this. There's a little thing in your head. Your brain is plastic. It's called neuroplasticity. And those are all the little pathways that are running through your brain that help you or dictate to you how you're going to act and react in whatever given situation. And when you want to make really great change, the reason they say it takes 2 weeks to, stop smoking or start, gifting extra weight that you don't want to other people or animals in the world that need it, is because it takes that long to start your neural pathways rewiring themselves, rehardwiring themselves. And bees are just like that, right? So, especially because the Wheel of Fortune card and the bee as a spirit totem and power animal have come inverted, that's just chill and really sit with what you think you want to do, think you want to say, think you don't want to do, think you don't want to say, and give your mind, your brain time to work through the chemistry of everything. Because let's be clear, I'm going to say it right here, disclaimer, Bernadette is not a medical professional of any kind. That's the rest of my family. I got nothing. Right? Okay. But I study this stuff because I love it and I'm a total nerd. And I'm always really interested in human performance. How can people get the most out of themselves in whatever area that you want to get the most out of yourself? Well, that's going to start with rewiring your brain in some capacity, which it does naturally and normally. So the bees, this is like job related. They come in hardwired to do a certain job, but then when they get older or things change, they go to take a different position because they all have different jobs. Some of them are undertakers, like literal undertakers. They're responsible for dragging the dead bees out of the hive. Some people, they're scouts. They search for new food, right? They fly through them, they're searching for new food. And then there are security guards. They're the bees, that they are the sentries at the gate, right? And when they go to change jobs, literally the chemistry inside their little brains changes before they take the job. Now, that's nature, but somebody somewhere, some bee somewhere, or some whatever the force is that, creates us or runs the universe, if it does, or however you look at that, somebody somewhere figured that out. And no wonder bees are successful at whatever they do. They change their body chemistry. Now, their brains also defy time. And what that means is, aging bees might have certain jobs, younger bees might have certain jobs. I wanted to make sure this is, I wanted to be sure I get this right. So scientists at Arizona State University believe that the discovery that bees' brains actually stop aging and then reverse age may very well help us, with dementia and all of those, kinds of things that nobody wants to go through and nobody wants to see anybody they care about go through. So, kind of like, you hope it's not like the movie Benjamin Buttons where he just reverts, back to a 9-year-old. But what's so bad with that? What's so wrong with that in a lot of ways? And so as you're moving through your week, as you're moving through this year, I would really encourage you to keep bee tucked in your pocket or in your heart or in, wherever, as your power animal, that when a situation is not, you don't dig it, it doesn't feel right, you just flat out don't like it, but you're not in a place to leave it, change it, whatever, right at that moment, sit with bee energy and sit with yourself, like whatever you need to do to start literally changing the hardwiring in your brain, to change the chemistry so that you can move on to what it is that you do want to do. And that will be lasting. It's, I'm back to the whole gifting weight instead of losing weight, right? There's a big conversation that I had with a few people last week. And, they just kept saying, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to please stop saying that. You don't want to lose weight. You want to shed it, okay? Or you want to gift it to other people or places and animals or whatever in the world that need, that may not have access to the nutrition you do, or they may have an illness or whatever that's causing them to, to be at an unhealthy weight for them, and they need to put on a few. But when you say you're going to, when you say you want to lose something, listen, from the time we're this big, we're indoctrinated to think if I've lost something, I want to find it, right? So that's a subconscious thing. So don't do it. But when we were having this conversation and we were talking about what it would really take to change the mindset so that you could leave the crappy job that you hate, so that you can step out of any kind of toxic relationships you don't want to be in, you can pray, you can meditate, you can say your mantras, you can say your affirmations, you can do all of that. And if you hit it the right way, whatever that way is for you, over time, it will morph your brain chemistry. It will morph your neural pathways. And then you stick to that. It's a long lasting change. It's not the flash in the pan where you do well for a week. And then you're like, if I don't have a pan of brownies and 2 Mexican Cokes, kind of like I was yesterday, I'm gonna die. So, and I posted on Facebook, I was like, somebody please stop me from making a big old pot of spaghetti and eating it at 11 o'clock at night, because nobody needs that. And I didn't. I was able to be the bee and just, stave that off. So I'm asking for the words from the animal allies to get it across to you just how important today's reading is for you. Specifically for you, for everything that you want dreams to come true, that you want to accomplish, relationships that you want to bring into your life, relationships you want to get out of your life, all of those things. It's about being the bee and changing your body chemistry. Now, here's why I know that bee is going to be able to help you do that. Pick a culture that knows about bees, and through every culture, bee represents the sweetness of life, the honey, the golden nectar. It's that gold, warm, delicious color and flavor. And so bees are always associated with good luck, good fortune, good karma. And yes, a bee sting hurts. Trust me, this I know. But they're finding that bee stings actually can have medicinal properties, like, it helps rheumatoid arthritis. They're not exactly sure why. It helps this, it helps that. And so also what you want to find is in I'm going to tell you a story. I haven't told a story in a long time. So I belong to this page. I highly recommend it. I love this Facebook page. I can't even tell you. It is so well moderated. And most all the people on there are just, man, they're awesome people. And it's called I Would Die Trying to Pet This. And people post the funniest, most heartwarming, endearing things with animals from all over the world, animals that they've rescued, this and that. Well, a few days ago, there was a whole big, I'm having a hot flash, y'all. There was a whole big thing that this gal that was in the middle of the vortex storms going through over the weekend. There's a baby deer. It wasn't like a baby. I looked maybe 4 or 5 or 6 months old, maybe. I don't know that for sure. You could just see it through the window in the picture. And, that they had been feeding the deer because for the last few weeks, because as they observed it as it was really ice cold, they never saw, I don't know if you guys know this, but with baby deer, if you happen to come upon them during the day, unless they are showing like true signs of distress, just leave them there, because the moms put them someplace where they think they're safe, and then they come collect them in the evenings. So, that baby had been coming. They had been feeding it and giving it, they put out a heated water pan. And so in this horrible storm, because of course the deer knew it was coming, this deer is like huddled up on these people's porch, huddled up against this house. Now, mammals shiver to generate body heat, but how long they can sustain that in double digit below zero numbers, I don't know. And a lot of that will depend on how healthy was the deer to begin with. Did they consume enough calories to keep that body heat burning? And let's face it, one young deer in a vortex storm, I don't really have great, hopes for that. So she asked if she should take it in. Holy guacamole, did that start the internet blew up. If you guys experienced any kind of interruption in your internet on, I think it was Saturday night, that was that thread on Facebook. So I put in my 2 cents. There were 900 comments on that thing by the time I put in my 2 cents, and some girl wrote in all caps, which if you guys don't know that, internet decorum etiquette is, please don't write. When I write in caps, it's to punctuate that thought. I'm not yelling at you, but when you put an entire sentence in caps, it's the same thing as somebody standing in your face screaming at you, so please don't do it. Some people don't know that, some people do. But, oh my God, she just was like, the mothers don't do this, and of course, mother deers don't put their babies in a herd, blah, blah, because I was like, listen, please take it in, and I cited the reasons why. So I sat there and I thought for a minute, and I never respond to things like that ever. And all I said was, listen, I'm aware that mothers don't do that, which is why I stated the fact that, this baby does not have a herd. And, and then I stated a few other things that were facts. Oh, sweet bejeebus. Then somebody else came on and they were like, moms leave their babies. And I know that. Yes, thank you. I wrote, I wish more people knew that. Because, here in Florida, they get thousands and thousands of telephone calls every year about people finding babies, and they call the rehabbers and they call the game and wildlife and all that kind of thing. Y'all, I know this. I'm a country girl. I live in Florida. Come on now. So, I wrote to the girl, I appreciate your concern, the one that went crazy on me. I really appreciate your concern, but please understand, you don't know anything about my knowledge base of animal rescue, wildlife rehab, nothing about it. So she writes me back and she says, it is amazing how you think you know everything about me. How do you do that? Well, the comedian in me wanted to put a link to my psychic readings in there and go, that's how I know. But I didn't. And what I also wanted to respond to was, I know that you can't possibly know because I don't air that anywhere. I talk to my family about it. My very closest friends know about it, but I don't live my life on the internet, says the woman who does a video a day, right? And more. So, but I don't live my personal life on the internet. No one would have any way to know that unless she knew my family. I sat for a minute and I thought, all right, what's a different way to see this other than triple Scorpio? That's it. Gloves are off. I'm coming through the screen at you, because I have never, ever, ever done that. And I didn't want to start now. So I wrote her back and I said, I don't know anything about you at all, except for one thing. It is very apparent that you're an animal lover, or you would not be a member of this page. You must be an animal lover, or you would not be concerned about this one deer's health. And so how about you stop attacking me and we find some common ground in our mutual love for animals? And then they closed the comments for the whole thing, because it was just getting out of control. People were fighting. They were getting away from the whole point of it, which is, what's the best thing for this poor shivering baby deer in a vortex storm, right? Okay. Why I bring that story up is, do I think I changed my whole brain chemistry in that moment? I do. And the reason I do is, man, I found myself doing something I try so hard not to do, which is judge and react. And sometimes you can take a look at what people write, and you can get a pretty good understanding of who they are and what they're about in that moment. In that moment, she might have gotten the worst news ever, and she went on the assumption bandwagon, and out of the 900 comments that were on that thread before Bernadette ever showed up, she might have gone after somebody else. I don't know, but I was her crucifixion of the day. So I did. I gave myself the chance to just try to see it from a different perspective. And what I saw was, here is a person that would rather lash out in this moment, that needs to lash out in this moment, needs to demean and belittle and attack in this moment. And why was I giving her that kind of power over me? What what, Bernadette, come on now. And I was like, dang, I think that's what led me to the wanting the whole, I think that's what led me to wanting the whole pot of spaghetti at 11 o'clock at night, but emotional eating, right? So, although is there anything better to do it with than chocolate and pasta? No. So this reading has gone a little bit long today, and I know that, but it's so important for the rest of your year that you give your body, your mind, the time to change its chemistry before you move. And especially with the Wheel of Fortune Tarot card inverted and the bee inverted, you've got to give yourself time, right? Give yourself the gift of time. So I hope that was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can get all the metaphysical madness that we all have fun with here every day. And as always, stay wild.